Hi everyone, good evening. So today is Tuesday, and for some reason today I had a lot of conversation about COVID numbers because it's getting to us, right? We've been in a lockdown, and what we expect is for the numbers to go down. However, what we see in the news seems to be completely the opposite. Like today is 11K. So all my social media, my WhatsApp groups, and also in Facebook and Instagram, I can see people are sharing this kind of, not so much in Instagram. I think Instagram is generally a more positive place, right? But WhatsApp and especially Facebook, we can see a lot of people are sharing about the numbers, and everyone is very worried. So it is worrying. But what and the thing is, because it is very worrying, we are all getting emotionally down because of that. So what are the things that we can do, because we have to manage ourselves through this, right? We have to remain positive because we still have our jobs, we still have our responsibilities, our families to manage, ourselves to take care of. Hi Darshana, hi Uma. So how do we go about with this, especially when we see people are suffering, people are, like lots of things are happening, and then in in addition to that, we have got all these political scenarios that's happening, the economy news that is bombarding us, and then we have got this vaccination issues that's going on. So there's like lots of things is actually being thrown our way, and then we are like going through this maze, and we are not sure when we are ever going to come out of this. The maze seems to just keep going on forever and ever. And what do we do? Hey Shivani. So what are the things, what I want to talk about today is something that I learned a long time ago. I've gone for Stephen Covey's 7 Habits, and I've read his books. And one of the things that actually changed my perception is a concept that he shared called the circle of influence. I don't know how many of y'all have actually read Stephen Covey's books or familiar with his teaching. I think the 7 Habits are like really very famous, right? And one of the things he talked about is actually the circle of influence. So and this is a very very powerful concept. This is an extremely powerful concept, and I think for me personally, this is one of the reasons why I can like read the news and not get depressed by the news, because I understand this circle of influence. So what circle of influence talks about is that if you all can imagine two circles, right? Sometimes people draw it as three circles. Yeah, we can draw it as three circles. So just imagine one circle inside, and then another bigger circle, and then the third circle is, it's encompassing the first two circles. And imagine that we are standing in the middle of the smallest circle inside there. And the first circle, the inner circle, we call it the circle of control, because this is where we are, and we are totally in control of whatever that happens within that circle. And can you all guess some of the things that we can control? Like, we are totally in control of it. Some of the things that we are totally in control of would be things like what I think about. Like, that's in my control, right? What I think about is in my control. The actions that I take, that is in my control. The words that I use, that's in my control. My behavior. So these kind of things are in my control. And then the outer circle, we can call it the circle of influence as well. So let's call it the circle of influence. And inside there, we probably can influence other people. Like, for example, like I can influence how my children feel by providing them with comfort and good food and entertainment and everything. I can have some sort of influence on my kids. And I can, like, now we are going through COVID, I can have influence on other people as well, either negatively or positively. So whatever that happens outside there, that's called the circle of influence. And then we have got this bigger circle. this huge circle that is outside. Hi Molly Ann, nice to see you again. So we've got this bigger circle outside of that other circle, and we call this the circle of concern. So the first one was circle of control, then the other one was a circle of influence, and the third one is the circle of concern. So circle of concern are things where we have absolutely no control over it, but we are very concerned about whatever that happens inside there. And these are things like, for example, like now, these are things like when is COVID ever going to end? What's going to happen to jobs? What's going to happen to Malaysia's economy? What's going to happen to the world economy? Is COVID going to continue to mutate? What's going to happen to the political situation? Is Parliament going to be reconvened? All these things we are concerned about. But if you really think about it, there is nothing that we can do right now to influence it. We need other people to influence it, right? Sometimes things can trickle into our circle of control. For example, if someone is running a petition to open up the Parliament, that petition comes into our circle of control and we can sign it. Or if, let's say, vaccination is available to reduce COVID, then that comes under our circle of control. But otherwise, a lot of things are totally out of our control, and there's just nothing we can do about it. So how do we deal with it? And what happens is that the more we focus on what is happening in the circle of influence, we are not able to think straight. Like we are going to be demotivated, we are going to be sad, we are going to be angry. Can you all feel it? The more you think about things which are outside of our control, like when is COVID going to go away, when is the lockdown going to end, what's going to happen to the economy, how many countries are going to pull out of Malaysia, all these things is actually going to make us feel more and more negative, because we have got no control, and we are going to feel all these thoughts like anxiety, we are going to feel stress, and we are going to feel all these negative emotions. So what Stephen Covey suggests is that we actually focus on our circle of influence. We focus on what is it that we can do, and only focus on the things that we can influence. So things like ask questions about our own actions. What are we doing? What are the thoughts that I'm thinking of? If I continue to think like this, what's going to happen to me? If I shift my thought, what will happen to me? How can I behave better? And can keep a journal and observe how we are. And ask and look at the circle of influence and see how we can support other people. If let's say I can adopt a family that's not doing very well, and I can give money or something, it will actually make me feel more empowered. It will when we help other people, we feel more empowered, we feel more resilient. Studies have actually shown this. So by helping somebody else, we feel more control, and that makes us feel stronger. And also, who can support us? Because sometimes we need support as well. So if we can focus on our circle of control and our circle of influence, we will feel happier, we will feel more powerful, and if we continue doing it, our circle of influence will actually get bigger. It'll get bigger, and we'll be able to that's how people like great leaders, they continue to expand the circle of influence, that from just touching themselves and their families, they touch the communities, then they touch the nation, and then they touch the world. So that's basically how things actually change. And if let's say in the pandemic, we can just focus on how I can control my behavior so that I don't panic buy, I don't share fake news, I follow what the health guidelines are, I follow SOPs. If we can just follow on these things, and everybody does that, instead of spreading fake news, instead of commenting this and that, then we will all be much happier. Won't you agree? So that's basically what we should be looking at. Focus on our circle of influence. And to know whether we are focusing in the, hey Kian, nice to see you. So to know whether we are focusing on the right circle, we have to look at our emotions. If we are feeling anxious, we are feeling stressed, we are feeling not in control, we are definitely focusing on the circle of concern. Yeah, because we have no power in that circle. But if we focus on the circle of influence, immediately our anxiety will go down, our our stress level will go down, and we will feel more empowered, because whatever we do in the circle of influence is within our control. So that is something that I would like to suggest for y'all to think about. If you are feeling stressed with everything that is happening, there are lots of things that we ourselves can do. We can take care of the food we eat, we can take care of our sleep, we can do some sort of an exercise, we can think about meditation, having a positive attitude. We can look to see who we can extend some help to, and if we need help, how can we get help. These are some of the things that we can actually focus on, so that life doesn't get too daunting. And this is just something that we have to go through until we come out of it. So that's it from me, guys. Any comments? Hey Kian, please comment lah. First time you're coming, comment something. So if you guys got no comment, then I'll be closing the FB live, and do let me know how you think about it, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.